she didn't want to be on this show. And you can't force somebody who didn't want to be on the show to be on the show. If only there was an example of a multiracial cast telling a Revolutionary War era story that, despite having minorities of different racial backgrounds, still was met with success.
How does it?
Hey guys, it's Nicole. I'm NicoleNichelle.com. So I typically don't like to give spoilers, but since this particular show has been hell-bent on spoiling itself, let's just go ahead and get into it. Rizzoli and Isles, Bonnie and Clyde, Ichabod Crane, and his sidekick, magical Negro, Abbie Mills. So, if you haven't seen it, I want to warn you, I'm going to tell the major plot twist in Friday's season finale of Sleepy Hollow, and it is that they killed off Abbie Mills. So this video is going to be about my reaction, seeing other people's reactions, really discussing the fatal flaw that Sleepy Hollow has fallen victim to, and then a message for the writers and some of the actors on the show. So let's just get started. They killed Abbie Mills on Friday. In one of the most, I don't know, as a viewer, one of the most poorly written scenes I have seen as of late, they eliminated Abbie Mills. So what's the problem with that? Remember season 1 when it was all sunshine and rainbows? A beautiful, racially inclusive cast with a hope and dream to getting the bad guy, the headless bad guy. And against all odds, it had over 10 million views. And it was marketed as a crime duo drama, much like Rizzoli and Isles, much like you see much like you see in Supernatural as well. And that's how we built it up. In season 2, I believe in season 2 and late season 1, Ichabod ran into the hell world, the hellscape that Abbie had been isolated in, to go save her, because time and again the show reiterated they are the two witnesses of the apocalypse. One cannot function without the other. They must be together at all times, and when they have both accomplished the goal, then they both are done with their jobs. So when we fast forward to the season 3 finale, and Abbie Mills all of a sudden says, my job as a witness was to die, essentially, and sacrifice myself for you, Ichabod, who has been given a second chance in life after 3 centuries, and to see you forth into your main journey. It was extremely disappointing for fans. It is yet another example of, and over time, over season 1, over season 2, is just another example of the squandering and mishandling of Black female characters on television. Not everything is about race. Well, not everything is about race, but this most certainly is. So let's look at sci-fi and fantasy television in the past. She's not the only character who has been mishandled in this way. So this is another thing that people need to understand who might not be sensitive to the issue. Black characters are usually mishandled in a myriad of ways, but particularly where it concerns Black female characters and Black women, specifically to fantasy and sci-fi, the one particular trope is usually observed. We're either sidekicked, we're asexual, or too strong to the point of never feeling pain beyond insurmountable odds, which is really dehumanizing. So take Ginny, having to kill her love interest and then losing her sister. I don't see how you proceed with a full human being without dehumanizing Ginny at this point. But we are not sidekicks, and our mission in life is not to die and sacrifice in order to prop up the white leads around us. That is not our job. And if that was happening to any other type of character, you would be upset. Black women are not here to be your crutch. We have the right to be fully realized characters and people, just like we are in real life. So Sleepy Hollow exhibiting this and turning Abbie, who was supposed to be Ichabod's equal, and turning her in the end into a crutch by saying, my mission was to keep you going on, Ichabod, as he rides into the distance on like another century of life, is really infuriating for people. If you don't understand, I would research it more. Research black female characters in fantasy sci-fi and then get back to us. But it's really not worth trying to dismiss these very real issues. Actually, the 100 has also been criticized with this as it concerns gay and lesbian characters. As soon as their love is realized, they're cut. So, and that's usually what happens. If there's a character a black female character who's on a show who has a love interest outside of her race, she's going. Look at Vampire Diaries. Like, Elijah has been through like 3 or 4 black women, and I'm sorry to say, to Walking Dead fans, I don't really watch, but I'm pretty sure that Denai's character, her days are numbered. They marketed the show as Ichabod Crane and Abbie Mills come together and handle the different hijinks of the Headless Horseman. And there was a really great part of season 1 that was developed, was their banter and their relationship and their complete dependence on one another to accomplish one goal, to accomplish a common goal. And it really worked. It was really great. But over the course of the seasons, one of the leads, namely Abbigail, seemed to be sidelined and relegated to a sidekick where it came to Ichabod Crane's wife, who's supposed to be this all-powerful witch, and somehow keeps getting herself into trouble such that Abbigail and Ichabod have to always help and save his wife Katrina. And that was met with a lot of criticism from loyal fans as well. Thinking about season 2 and how there was so much mishandling of Katrina, who was supposed to be this all-powerful witch and couldn't even lift a stick, which was pointed out cleverly by Tom Mison on the DVD commentary. That leads us to another point. So for those people who say, she didn't want to be on this show, and you can't force somebody who didn't want to be on the show to be on the show. If she doesn't want to be on the show, how can they force her? She doesn't want to be on it, so I mean, whatever, guys, she had to go. So for those people, I would say the more important question is, if you have a lead in the show who wants to leave, let's start asking ourselves why. So there are a couple of clues that may have been pointed out that seem subtle earlier, but are ringing loud and clear as like problems in Nicole Beharie's treatment as an actress, as a person on set. So number 1, she wasn't invited to participate in the DVD commentary of season 2, and she has since deleted the post from Instagram. But why would you not want one of the show runners to be show leads, principals, or what have you, be on the DVD commentary? Why would you think that fans wouldn't want Nicole Beharie and Tom Mison and along with producers on the DVD commentary? So that kind of says to me that maybe her voice didn't matter. The show's Twitter account and writer's room didn't even follow her on Twitter. She had to come out and ask them to follow her on Twitter. And in the age where shows really rely on social media presence for engagement and stuff like that, it's really strange. Like, do you think that Tony Goldwyn from Scandal has to ask the official Scandal page to follow him? No, they're following all the actors. So it just seems like she might be a second thought to them. And also, before Orlando Jones' character was killed off, it seemed to me that he was trying to kind of sending out smoke signals and expressing some disdain or some distaste with the way that Abbie Mills' character was being played, and he was killed off. Nicole Beharie probably didn't want to be treated the way she was. I'm sure she did in some way try to speak out about that, and probably part of the reason why she wanted to make her out was because she didn't feel like she was heard or respected. But I can't put I can't put words into her mouth, and I don't want to speculate too much. But as an outsider looking in, that really seemed to be one of the main problems. You had John Cho, you had Nicole Beharie, you had Orlando Jones, and Tom Mison. You had all these people playing a really great part, and actually I think, I forget the name of the actor, but it was a Hispanic Latino actor who played a potential love interest for her in season 1, and all of these people either disappeared or fell to the wayside. In ongoing commentary, that fans have had is like, why can't Jimmy and Abbie seem to find love? Ichabod has been, besides being completely socially awkward, has been able to have a relationship with his wife, a Revolutionary War reenactor, and it seems that this is another case of a major show having great views. They had over 10 million views their first season, and having that, and then they ruined it, completely wrecked it, trying to make it more palatable for a general audience, which means relegating, erasing characters of color, and that's what really happened. And I'm thinking to myself, if only there was an example of a multiracial cast telling a Revolutionary War era story that, despite having minorities of different racial backgrounds, still was met with success. I just want to conclude with a message to the writers. I really don't have too much to say positive. So there's an article that I'm going to link in the bottom, and it's a really great article that someone talks about the writing is really great examples of other characters of color that have been squandered on television, and like really there's a lot of fantasy and sci-fi shows that just plow through black female characters. The Vampire Diaries, while they're an example of a show that has been able to go without their lead, they have been an example of plowing through black female characters, just killing them off left and right. But to the writers, I don't have too much positive to say, but I will say I know that all of you didn't want to vote for that or go that direction. And I'll leave, great season 1, I'll leave it at that. To Tom Mison, what would Ichabod do? And to Nicole Beharie, I'm such a big fan of yours. I have your music on my iPod. It goes all the way back to Last Day Without You. And I don't think I'm alone in saying, I can't wait to support whatever you do creatively, whatever your next step is. I can't wait to be there for you and support you and shout your praises. I hope this doesn't get you down. We're here for you, and we can't wait to see what you do next. A comment below on what you guys thought. Also check out the hashtags, hashtag I am Abbie Mills, hashtag Shady Hollow, hashtag Abbie Deserves Better. Those are really great hashtags to see like fan insight. Sleepy Hollow really messed up, and if they really think that we're going to stand for them and push for their renewal after this, they've got to be insane. Absolutely not. See you guys later, and let me know what you think.